Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about how we can create dashboards in datastudio. This is a sample dashboard that I have created from this data source, pollution data 2015 to 2020. I've taken this data from internet. It would be useful in our dashboard. So let's begin. We are going to replicate this dashboard in this video. So let's go to datastudio, type datastudio, and then you can go to datastudio.google.com. I'll click on it. Okay, now I know my URL of the sheet, right? Google Sheet. I'll just copy that URL and then again go to this, click on plus button. Okay, now go to Google Sheets because my data is in Google Sheets. I'll click on Google Sheets. Then these are the ways through which we can connect to our source. So in this case, I know the URL directly. So I'll just click on URL section and just paste the URL here. It will automatically fetch the tab name and columns, everything. So our tab name is dataset. Okay, and we will tick this. Use first row as headers. Yes, I want the first row to be header. Okay, then hidden and filter cells also, I'll just tick that, and we will just click on add. This action will connect my backend data to this dashboard, and after that we can create our dashboards. It will take some time, totally depends on how much data is present at your backend source, right? So you have to be patient when you are connecting the source. So I'll just delete this. It's an auto-populated table. Okay, now I'll just rename the dashboard as pollution data 2015 to 2020. Okay, cool. So let's go to the data once so that we know that what type of columns are present in the data. So we have first column, we have city, we have date, we have PM2.5, and we can see then in some cells it is blank and in some cells we have data. Similarly, we have PM10, NO, NO2, NOx, NH3, CO, SO2, O3, and so on. So these columns are basically the pollutant names. Okay, and with the help of these pollutants, there is a column known as AQI. We can see that we have AQI numbers here in this. Some are blank and in some cells we have data. And as per the AQI, the bucketing has also been done, which is poor, very poor, severe, moderate, and accordingly. So we have in total 16 columns with us, right? And with the help of these 16 columns, we are going to get insights, and I'll show you how to create a dashboard which can create a story for the user, and user can understand what's going on in live data, right? So as we know that this particular data is divided, or you can say segmented as per the dates. So that is for sure that in the dashboard we should give an option to the user to select the dates, so that user can select the dates, like for example month over month, if they need to compare month over month data, quarterly data, or yearly data. So it would be really useful if the user has the date with them. So let's go to the dashboard once again. Cool. So this dashboard I'm going to create now, and this one is the one which we are going to replicate. Okay, so the first thing we have to create this rectangular bar and the text. So I'll go back. Okay, now I'll go to this text section. Okay, I'll just zoom a little bit. Okay, so I'll just click on text and I'll just drag it like this and release the mouse. Cool. I'll just write something like data, you can say pollution data 2015 from 2020. Bold it, and on the right hand side we have some options to format this thing. So I'll just click on center, it will come to center. I want to increase the text, it will increase the text like this. Okay, now basically I want to give a color to this, a blue color to the background. I'll go to the section background and border. I'll click on this, I'll click on blue. Okay, now the text is black, so it's not looking very good, so I want text to be white. I'll click on the text, I'll go up, we have font and paragraph here, font color. I'll click on this, I'll click on white color, and here it is. I'll just adjust it a little more. Cool. So basically this is the main title of our dashboard. So this is a constant thing. Okay, it basically gives a very good look and feel to your dashboard. Always whenever you are trying to create a dashboard, right, make sure that you give ample space to different sections. So whenever you are creating a dashboard, given the first thing after this title, right, the first thing you should leave space for the filters and the controls. So for example, I'm going to put a date filter in here, exactly like this. Select date range. Okay, so I'll go to my dashboard, I'll click on add a control. Okay, then I'll go bottom, and we have date range control here. I'll click on it, and then again you just have to click it and it will drop the object there like this. You can just reshape it again, and then we will format it a little bit. I'll go to style, and if you want the text to increase, you can select from here. Okay, I'll just keep it as 14. Now I want to change the color to yellow. Background and border, I'll click on this, I'll go and select this. Okay, I got a yellow color for this filter. Okay, so this is basically a date filter. I'll click on this, so you can see that we can apply start date and we can apply end date in this. Now the second thing after this, I want a rectangular bar in which AQI trend is written, and after that I have 3 graphs in here. I'll go back to my dashboard, I'll just adjust this little bit. Okay, now again I'll go to text, and I'll leave a space here some. Okay, now I'll just write AQI trend, bold it, and you can just color it with some bright color so that it's visible. Okay, I'll just center line this, and then I'll just increase the size a little bit. Cool, I have AQI trend now. So now I know that this particular section, right, this particular section will be only left for the filters or scorecards. And after this AQI trend, my graphs and everything will come. Now in my dashboard, right, I have Q on Q, quarter on quarter, and MOM. So before creating these titles, I'll go and create this graphs first. Okay, so I want an year on year graph. I'll go back to my dashboard. I want an year on year graph of AQI so that we can present the trend, right? So I'll go and click on insert. I'll click on table first. Instead of graph, I am going to click on table. So why we are doing this? So for example, if your data, just in case the calculations are not correct, so you would know instantly if you are working on a table, and then you convert the table into a graph. So what all columns I require? I need a date, like basically an year axis, and I want an average of the AQIs. Okay, cool. I'll come here. I have city and record count. Okay, so I have to change these 2 columns. I'll go to dimension. I'll click here, and I'll click on date. Okay, so this has been converted into. This will convert into dates now. See, we have the dates. Now in the metrics, I want, instead of record count, I'll want AQI. So I'll just, we also can drag and drop here directly. And whenever we'll drag and drop any metric, right, it will try to sum it up if it is a number. So you can see that AQI here, it is showing 1740. So instead of sum, I want an average, because it's a, basically it's a ratio, right? So I'm just averaging it out for this dashboard. I'll click on average here. Cool. So basically whenever you are pulling any metrics in metric section, right, we have a different option here. You can get maximum number, you can get minimum number, you can get distinct count, you can get total number of count, you can get sum. So in this case I want average, so I have selected average. It will directly average out everything. Cool. So I have date, I have AQI, no problem. But the point is, I want, instead of dates, I want year, right? So I want to convert this date into year format. So how to do that? So we have two date section here. One is the date range, which is linked to this, okay, and one is dimension date, which is linked to this column. So we have to convert the format, the type of this metric. So I'll go to this edit button, I'll go to type, click on this, go to date and time, and convert to year. The first step is done. Now the second step, the dimension one, again go to this section, click on type date, click on date and time, and then click on year. So as you can see that this particular complete date column has been converted to year, but in the background, like in the data source, we don't have any year column as of now. The best part about this is we don't have to create a separate column. We can just convert the formats, right? I just converted it. I got the year column as well as I got the AQI, the average AQI. Now I want to convert this table into a graph, a visual representation. So I'll go and click on this down arrow. Then I can convert, with the help of these options, I can convert it into different types of graphs. So in this, I want a line graph. So I'll click on this, for example. Cool, I got the line graph. So I can see that in 2015, the AQI was, if I hover it, it was 212, and in 2020 it is 113, which is not true. But yeah, our data source was taken from internet, so it's not very reliable. But yeah, for the sake of creating a dashboard, I've taken this data, right? So we have data with us, and in this, the first trend we have created is year on year AQI, average AQI trend. Now it's not very, you can say it's not very prompting. It's not giving me the numbers right away. So I click on this particular graph. I'll go and click on style. Then we have show points option here. It will give me the points over here. Then I'll click on show data labels. It will give me the data labels. So I know in 2015 it was 212, 197, 181, and so on, and 2020. So as you can see, we have created a line graph for year on year comparison of AQI. We also have a black border in this. So I'll just go and select this, and I'll go into style section, and we'll have border color. Click on this, it will give you a color here. Okay, just adjust the graph now. Cool. Now my year on year graph is created. I'll just write it like this. Okay. Click on this. And I'll just change the color of the text to white. Bring it in center, just to increase the size. Cool. Now we have created year-on-year graph successfully. I'll just create a month, or you can say a quarter over quarter trend. So this quarter on quarter trend will be little different than the normal one, right? So what we are going to do, I just did Control C and Control V, and I created a copy of this graph because I've already done all the formatting, so I don't want to create every graph from scratch and then do all the formatting. So now what I have to do is we have this year axis in this, right? So I want to convert this year to quarter on quarter. So I'll go to this dimension, click on edit button, click on year, date and time, and then click on quarter. Okay, so this will convert the year on year data into quarter on quarter data, right? So what this particular graph means, this is basically the average of AQI in each quarter, right? So from 2015 to 2020, the Q1 average to Q1 average of 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is 145. Similarly, for Q2 average of all the years is 83 and then 72, and accordingly, right? So we have created quarter on quarter data now, right? I'll just copy this, Control C, again Control V, it will create a copy, and then I want month over month trend here. Okay, and I'll just copy this also. It will be month over month. Cool. I'll just click it again, and I want to change this quarter to month. I'll go to this dimension date section, edit, click on quarter, click on date and time, and then click on month. So it will give me an average of AQI among all the months. So I know that from 2015 to 2020, the average of AQI in January was 168. And similarly, we have data. So we have created 3 graphs now, and this also we have created year on year, quarter on quarter, month over month, like this. Okay, cool. So as you can see, that sheet is finished now. So I want to increase the length of the page. So I'll click on the page anywhere. I'll click on right click, then I'll click on current page settings, click on style, and in the height just mention 1200. As you can see, the page has been extended. Okay, again click on this. Cool. We have created these 3 graphs. We have created the date range filter. Okay, now the next part is I want to create AQI bucket filter and then a bar graph which have city in the axis and the AQI. Okay, so I'll just go here. What I can do is I'll just copy this and Control C, Control V. I'll just drag it down with the help of the down arrow, and I'll just write this. What is this? Top 5 pollutants city wise. So I'll just write top 5 city wise. I'll just adjust it. Cool. Now what we are talking about, we want to give a filter of AQI bucket. Okay, so I'll just add a control, drop down list, click it here, and instead of date just put AQI bucket, and then you can just color it. From the background section. Okay, I'll click right button on the mouse, go to current page settings, go to style. I'll just increase it to 2500. It will increase. Okay, now I want a bar graph, right, in which I want city, and AQI. Cool. So I'll go here. I'll say insert table. Okay, and instead of AQI bucketing here, I'll put city, and then I'll put AQI. Okay, it's already there. I'll just change it to average, and then change this table to a bar graph. Okay, so we have more cities in here, right? So as of now, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cities are showing here. So I'll go to style, and if I want to increase the number of bars, right, I'll change in style section. I'll change this number and just make it maximum, like for example 100. It will give you 100, right? You can just increase the numbers as it is. Okay. Now I have a bar graph in which I have city name and AQI average. Now I want to give the data label, so I'll go and click on this under style section, click on show data labels, and just click on compact. Just increase a bit. And here it is. So in this graph also we can see we have AQI bucket, we have the graph, and here also we have done the same. Now I'll just to make it more, you can see more presentable, right? I'll just go and select the border, add border shadow under style. Okay, and I'll just color the border color as well. Cool. So we have created this. Now the next graph is the pollutants graph and a filter of city. I'll just click this filter, select this filter, Control C, Control V, bring it down, and instead of AQI bucket, put city. Okay, cool. Now we have a graph here with pollutants, right? So I'll go and copy this, Control C, Control V, bring it down. Now the next thing is, if I see in this graph, I have city, but I have pollutants column in here, right? The data is related to pollutants. So instead of AQI, I'm going to drag and drop all the pollutants in this list. So first I'm going to bring PM 2.5, convert it to average, then PM 10, convert it to average, then CO, same, you have to convert everything into average, NH3, NO2, NOx, SO2, toluene, xylene, and so on. So I've created the graph, but as you can see that the graph has lots of data in it, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'll try to create a graph in which majority of the data can be accumulated within a single bar. So that type of chart is known as stacked one. So I'll click on this bar chart, I'll click on this down arrow, and I'll select this stacked column chart. So it will replace all the bars into one bar, and it will give a portion of it. Like in Delhi, what is a portion, like what is the average of PM 2.5? It is 80. For PM 10 it is 157. For NH3, this NH3 it is 34, and so on. So this is more a readable graph, right? But we are not going to read it as is, right, with all the cities in constrained together. So how to read the dashboard, we are going to learn. So before, like after creating all the charts and all, right, the very important step we have to do is select this and press Control button, then select all the graphs which are related to dashboard, like this. Select this, all the filters should be selected, all the graphs should be selected, and then on any object, like for example in this table or this filter, click on the right button of your mouse and click on group. This action will group all the elements together, and whenever you will change the date range, right, complete data will start changing. So if I talk about this graph, like this dashboard, as you can see that we have date range, we have year on year, quarter on quarter, month over month, we have AQI bucket, we have city options, we have pollutants options as well. So let's become the user now and let's start to view the dashboard, right? So click on this view section, view button here. I'll click on this and now it is in view mode. So as a user, right, for example, I am in pollution control board and I'm the head of the pollution control board and I received a report from my subordinate. This is the report from 2015 to 2020. Now let's go into this and check the insights that we can pull out. So I'm not applying date range first, I'm just reviewing it, right, reviewing the graph. So if I talk about year on year, we have seen there is a decline of the AQI, okay, as per this data. So the AQI was 212 in 2015 and in 2020 it is 113, which is a good indication, right? The AQI has been decreasing. Now as a head, I want to know in which quarters, exactly in which quarters we have maximum AQI. So as we can see that in Q1 and in Q4 we particularly have more than average AQI, right? And if I talk about month over month, we can see that in October, November, December and January we have higher AQIs. So from these three graphs, I got a point, okay, I got a point on which we have to work. We have to first identify why in these 4 months, right, the AQI was increasing. What was the reason? Okay, so this trend, we know that these are the 4 months where the average is going above, right? The average is increasing, the AQI is increasing. Okay, so I got the first point to work upon is there are 4 months from 2015 to 2020. These 4 months have been very constant in which AQI has been increasing. Cool? Okay. Now we'll go down and I want to know in which cities the severity was very bad. Like for example, I want to select the AQI severity as severe. I will select very poor and I'll select poor. I want those cities, okay, I want those cities in which the AQI was very bad, severe, very poor and poor. I'll select this and I have a list of cities here. So let's talk about first 4 cities first. So if I am the head of the department, right, I want to focus on top 5, top 4, top 3 cities so that I can act upon them and the AQI could be reduced in future. So I know that in Ahmedabad it is the highest, 520, then Patna, then Delhi and then Gurugram. These are the top 4. Okay, I got to know that Ahmedabad is the key basically contributor in maximum AQI. So I'll go and select Ahmedabad here and I'll select only so that I can get to know the list of pollutants in Ahmedabad which are maximum in number. So if I talk about the pollutants, PM10, which is this color, it is 123 in average and then it is 2.5. Okay, so with the help of this dashboard, after doing 2 levels of deep dive, we come to a conclusion that yes, in Ahmedabad, in entire country, like in entire India, we have Ahmedabad as a city which have maximum contribution to AQI. And in Ahmedabad, particularly in Ahmedabad, we have PM10 and PM2.5 pollutants maximum, and which are very hazardous to human beings. So I know that in India, in Ahmedabad, I have to work on these 2 pollutants. So the next deep dive, if I have data for that, for example, I have a list. I have a list where I know that what are the root causes of the increase of these pollutants, and then I'll submit this report to my upper management that these are the key pollutants which are increasing in Ahmedabad, Delhi, Patna and Gurgaon, and we have to focus on this point. So for example, just in case, if I talk about CO, right, carbon monoxide, whenever you drive a vehicle, right, diesel, petrol, whatever, it contributes to CO, majority of it. So I know that I have to talk to RTO, the transport department, so that they can work on policies so that they can reduce the emission and they can reduce the CO. So this is how everything is related and interlinked in a dashboard. Never ever create a dashboard which does not say a story to the user. Never ever create a dashboard which do not shows trends or year on year, quarter on quarter, or month of trends to the user, so that, because these points are very important for the user, right? So that we know that what is the problem area, in which particular time period the problem occurs, what type of problem, in which city it is occurring the most, and what is the cause, or you can say the type of pollutants. In this case, what are the maximum type of pollutants that are present in that atmosphere, and what are the main root cause of that pollutants to increase. So this is how a story is built, and around that story dashboards are made. So this is a very basic dashboard that I've created, and you can just create, if you want, you can just try it out once. So if I talk about 2017 January 1st and 2020 December 31st, I'll just click it, apply, and complete data will change. And for that particular time period, all the numbers will change, everything will change, and the user will get to know what's happening, right? So it is very important to create a story. I hope you liked my video. This is a pretty lengthy video, but yes, with the help of this video, you will be able to create dashboards on your own. And if you have any doubts in this particular video, please comment. In my next video, I'm going to teach you how to blend data together and how to use case and when statements in datastudio. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.